The secret to finding a good man is to hate men. And I know you guys are going to say, oh my God, how does that make any sense? When you hate men, you don't make excuses for them or their behavior. When you hate men, you will never meet a man that is not where he's supposed to be at in life and start feeling sorry for him or start trying to help him. When you hate men and a man disrespects you or does something wrong to you, you will not start feeling sympathy for him. You will not start caring about how he lost his grandmother in the second grade. You're not going to give a fuck about any of that because you already can't stand him. I also think when you hate men and you're dating, but men know that, they also know a little bit to tread a little lightly with you because it's like, I really don't even like your kind, right? I'm already not too fond of y'all. So the ice, you start on ice. And you make your way to the ground. But you start on ice before it gets solid. So yeah, I thought I'd make this video because a lot of people have been tagging me in this one creator's video where she's talking about how women that hate men end up in the best relationships. And those that know me know that I loathe the existence of men. So yeah, and I think it just tracks. I just think it just tracks. I don't have any sympathy for these motherfuckers. Like I don't.
The video that you guys sent me prior to this was a video where a woman was complaining that men don't approach women. The video before that was a woman that was complaining that men don't protect women to the extent that they feel like men need to protect women, and that men have started to divest themselves against women, especially black women. Now, I'm not a person that ever believes that people are a monolith, but I'm amazed at American culture because it seems like all of these women are so hurt. They have some trauma, they have some issues, they have problems that they need to go back and solve for, all the way probably back to their childhood, because there's no way that you can ever convince me that a woman whose nature is to be a helpmeet, divine by God, that was sent down from heaven himself, and Jesus died on a cross so that we can have salvation, and the nature of how he created us to be men, providers, and protectors, and ultimately like God himself, and that we have dominion over everything that walks on this earth. At the same time, a woman is supposed to be his helpmeet, a person that is supposed to be by his side and aligned with him in everything that he does. And you're telling me that these women are so hateful and they despise men so much that they have this rhetoric that they're spreading to each other. And the most alarming thing is that when y'all send me these videos and I go to look at them, to see the amount of likes that these videos get is egregious. It's absolutely crazy. But they feel comfortable saying these hateful words and this rhetoric. And it's bad enough that we are divided against each other based off of identity politics and things that we can't even control. But then you throw into the mix the fact that these women refuse, and I mean refuse, to ever go back and try to fix who they are and the nature of who they are and try to get themselves together so that they can have a better experience and they could be fulfilled. You know, life is so much better on this side. I've realized a long time ago when I divested myself against the Democratic Party and the Democrat plantation and also the culture that I grew up in, I realized a long time ago that life was so much better in love. And so I tend to like to look at and react to and have conversations about people that ultimately is trying to bring us down. And I would love to bring accountability back to the table because there's no reason for you to have this much hateful spirit in your heart, in your soul, in your core, to where you would automatically designate yourself as a men hater. You hate men. You hate the very existence of the people that built this world, that allowed for you to be able to be as comfortable as you are today and have the freedom to say and do the things that you're saying and doing right now. That's the hill that you choose to rock out on. And it's sad. It is sad because it's not like it stopped anything. It's not like any motion is not had. It's not like things are not going to continue to play out exactly how it's been playing out. But as we know, you just hurt yourself as a result of it. But more importantly, it's not even that you hurt yourself. Right? I'm not trying to convince people or convince women because this is just despicable in my opinion. I'm not trying to convince people or convince women that they need to do things differently. I mean, it would be nice if they could just shut their mouth. If you could shut your mouth, because single women and bitter single women keep women single, bitter baby mamas keep women single, and you would be able to get the results that you truly want, because you're not going to convince me that these people don't actually want success. And I don't know this person, and I always like to give credit to the content creator, so that link will be down in the description. But you're never going to convince me that these people truly want this life, this hateful, bitter life that they grew up believing that this was the life that they wanted. And if they were to ever go back and show their previous self, their that little girl, that teenager, that 20-year-old woman, who she was going to grow up to be, and the personality that she would have, and a hate that she would have, and the disposition that she would just have towards another group of people that the overwhelming majority she's never met in her life, but she already has a disdain for it. Think about it like this. These people are walking the earth, right? Every single day. You see them, you run into them, and all of the tens of thousands of people that like this stuff, you see them, you run into them probably at the gas station, you jog past them, you may wave, what's going on, you may speak to them and say, hey, how's your day, as you I don't know, go to the grocery store or go to Home Depot or something like that. Who knows? You interact with these people as you pass them, and you pay your parking meter, and you go over to a concert or something like that, or you order something, you call them for customer service. You deal with these people every day. How hard is it for them to remove their bias because they've programmed themselves to be so hateful in general? How hard is it, do you think, that it is for them to remove their bias towards you, but to code switch and just to be able to put on a good face, but know that secretly, deep down inside, that person really is hating you. And they hate you so much that they're willing to say it publicly out loud on the internet, knowing that the internet is forever and they'll never be able to live this type of stuff down. But it's out there. It's out there. It's absolutely out there. I think that women have a healing journey. They have a healing process that they need to embrace. I'm praying for them. It's not even, something that we could just take lightly anymore, because when hate starts to become this hateful, it'll start to translate and it'll start to actually physically show itself up for you. And this is why they advocate against updating family court laws. This is why they advocate for freedom and diversity, equity, and inclusion, but only when it serves them. This is why they really don't like you and they continue to file for divorce the majority of the time, 70 to 80%. And depending on what city that you live in, it may be exponentially higher than that. This is why they bitter and they angry about the fact that they going broke and they the most distressed and most laid off. This is why they get so bothered at the fact that when you show a mirror to them and you start having a conversation about how they really are, instead of how they think that they see themselves or what they think that they deserve, that they get angry at you. This is why they want to shoot the messenger. This is why they continue to have these conversations amongst each other, continuing to try to build up this hate amongst her, because they don't want to be angry and lonely by themselves, and so they try to get a posse as a result of it. This is why you see their sassy sons, and they continue to raise their sons to be hateful. I always look at it from this lens, and I'm going to leave y'all with this one before we move over to the next video. I always try to look at it from this lens. If you hate men so bad, and again, I don't know this woman, so I don't know her background. I don't know if she have children, nor that I really care like that, but she's a representation of a hateful narrative. If you hate men so bad, and this goes for all of the women that liked it and all of the women that was in the comments of this person, if you hate men so bad, do you hate your sons? And is that why you raise them and treat them the way that you do? Do you hate your fathers? Do you hate your brothers? Or are they exempt because they special? Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.